Thank you for staying with us, everyone. As Benue State approaches the 2027 general elections, political conversations are intensifying around the performance and future prospect of the ruling APC. At the center of this discourse is Governor Isaac Talia. We're barely 2 years to another crucial election cycle. Stakeholders, analysts, and citizens alike are assessing the governor's record, the internal dynamics of the APC, and the shifting alliances across the state's political blocks. Tonight, we'll take a closer look at the APC administration in Benue State and the chances of Governor Alia's re-election in the 2027 elections. What factors will influence the race? How is the administration perceived? And what does the political terrain look like as parties begin to strategize? APC member Benue State Opokwu Ogenyi is my guest tonight. He's also a former Benue State governorship aspirant and coordinator of the Conference of Minority Tribes. Good evening, Mr. Opokwu. Thank you for joining us on Politics Tonight.
Good evening, Nigeria.
Right.
Good evening, Nigeria.
Thank you for joining us. So I want us to start with security matters across the country, because, that's the conversation today. And it's also a major challenge in Benue State. This week alone, 25 schoolgirls were kidnapped in Kebbi State. And in Kwara State, we have bandits storming a church, killing worshippers. What's your assessment of this security situation?
Thank you very much. You agree with me that before President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over power on May 29, 2023, there were so many local government areas in the country under the control of the insurgents or bandits. But within a year in office, he was able to demystify these bandits and terrorists. And we can see as 2027 election is drumming up, and insurgency are also regrouping to distract the administration. I firmly believe that the recent attacks on churches and school is a mere attempt to relaunch the country as a terrorist organization, which as a supporter of the government, a believer of the country, and a man who has been on the street for the interests of the people, I disagree with them. It is true that we have pockets of insurgents that are attacking the people. The government is on it. There is no single local government in Nigeria today that is under the control of these insurgents, be it ISWAP, Bandits, or Boko Haram. The government is on top of the situation, and even in Kwara State, we saw the movement of the service chiefs. In Kebbi State, we saw the movement of even the defense chiefs, and we've seen the arrival of Mr. Vice President, who was personally there to commiserate with the people, and he also boosts the morale of the security agencies in the country. So I want to say that we should not be distracted, because no matter what they do, they cannot win the war against the people. It is a collective effort, collective responsibility of Nigerians that we must come together to defeat this ugly trend of insurrection. Thank you.
Yes, they cannot win the war, Mr. Opokwu, but Nigerians are dying. Soldiers are dying every day. And it's important that we fix this as a country. And yes, when I speak with stakeholders, they say the federal government alone cannot do this. State governments must also, up their games. But for a place like, states like Benue State, I've spoken with federal lawmakers, I've spoken with stakeholders, and today I'm speaking with you. But for someone like Honorable David Ogewi, who represents Ojuobi Federal Constituency, he has clearly said Benue killings are a clear failure of political leadership, basically because the state government is not doing enough. And for someone like Honorable Philip Agbese, the governor was helpless, and better synergy amongst all stakeholders would give a direction to how this challenge in Benue State would be handled. Do you agree with these theories?
No, although the federal lawmakers that made such a proclamation are people who cannot spend a night in their own villages. Go there to Benue and check the terrain yourself. After the Yelwata massacre that drew the attention of Mr. President at the world, I am sure we have not had any such terrible situation in Benue. And the governor is on top of the situation. Let me bring this to your notice. During the reign of Suswan as governor of Benue State, there was a full-blown war against the Fulanis and the Agatu people. During that same period, there was a war between the Fulanis and the Guma people. During the reign of Otom as governor, in fact, for the 8 years, you will hear every day of insecurity in Benue, killings, and all of that. But within 2 years of Governor Hyacinth Alia's administration, the truth has been unveiled. The governor was able to mobilize security operatives. He was able to purchase operational vehicles, boost the morale of personnel, and they went after this insurgent. And today, what we have in Benue is pocket of insurrection. Pocket of insurrection. Are you aware that most of these insurgencies in Nigeria is as a result of illegal mining that is going on across the country? So any federal lawmaker that is seated here comfortably and say that the governor has failed, the person has equally failed. In fact, let me tell you this. Within 2 years of the Alias administration, he was able to control the yearly flood that ravaged Benue and consumed over billions of naira within 2 years of his administration. He was able to control that. If you go to Benue today, the governor has opened a new city called New Makodi City. He went into the hinterland and opened roads where people are now building and people are now living. He was able to control the erosion area, the flood area, and this year, you will agree with me that there is no flood in Benue as a whole. And in terms of infrastructure, the governor is revamping the old infrastructure. If you go to Anuni, where the secretary to the government of the federation come from, he started a tomato factory during his time as governor of Benue State.
All right.
Suswan came for 8 years, he didn't touch it. Oton spent 8 years, he didn't touch it. Governor Hyacinth Alia has gone to revamp that tomato paste industry.
Kindly hold on, Mr. Opokwu.
We are talking about security.
Yes.
We're talking about security, we bring about social security. Without job creation, without infrastructure, you are worsening the security situation. So I am telling you that the governor was able to establish this area of development that has curtailed this insurrection in Benue State. That is what I'm trying to explain to you.